Hi, my name is Mason Avidano, and for this design and manufacture project, I was tasked with modifying an existing product to design for ergonomics, ease of use, and human factors. For the subjects of improvement, I've chosen spice jars or bottles, both with the screw-on and tab type lids. So cooking is sometimes time sensitive, so these time-saving improvements are always welcome. Additionally, ingredient freshness is key for health, taste, and eliminating food waste. So when turned upside down, both these current designs allow steam to enter, which can compromise freshness by introducing moisture and solidifying these two spices into a large block. In the case of these screw-on tops in particular, they require the user to manage two parts or use two hands. This screw-on method also may not be inclusive to those who have problems with wrist mobility, like those with arthritis or chronic pain. Tab lids also have ridges and dimples that can catch spices when they're poured, and require sometimes a large force to overcome the seal here, which may also affect similar groups. For our improvement concept, we've decided to focus on designing for ease of use, as this product can be completely flipped upside down or even stored upside down to allow for a quick shake of spice. To use the product, the user would simply push the thumb up on the side tab here to push up the cap, allowing a gap here where spice can fall. Seen here, the small ridges here on the side of the cone, these sloped bits, will allow spice to fall, while the bottom of the cone will protect the spice interior here from steam. The friction fit between the latch on the side of the jar here and the tab for the cap give the user full control of how far they push out the cap and allow them to only use one hand. Additionally, we've made minimal changes to the original spice jar design. These changes will be discussed in detail later, but we've mainly focused on the lid. For a more in-depth look on all the smaller improvements, we've developed a radius on the latch here that allows the tab to be inserted without much precision by any assembler, and a small button here that will deform the latch in order to be inserted for the first time, but prevent the cap from being removed during use or by the consumer. Additionally, this small push button element allows for the product to not have any need for fasteners or adhesives that may increase the cost or the time for the assembly process. Also, a consistent thickness for both elements here, the cap and the jar itself, allows for a consistent cooling time when looking at the manufacturing process. So, injection molding is standard for other spice jars, so this method will be used here as well. In the small corner here, you can see an example of injection molding, where a molten plastic is injected into a mold, fills with plastic, the mold cools, and the plastic part is ejected. So, again, our consistent thickness around the entire design allows for a consistent cooling time. Additionally, we've accounted for the blemishes. Anyone using spice at home knows that there's a small blemish on the bottom of the jar there, and in our case, there'll be a small blemish on the bottom of the cap, just from where the plastic is injected here. Additionally, we've designed for assembly. As mentioned earlier, there's no need for additional fasteners or adhesives, and it maintains two parts like the other similar products. We've also developed some fillets on the components that require insertion, so the assembler does not need to be precise. As foreshadowed a little bit with the injection molding, our material here is PET plastic. PET plastic was chosen because it's the standard for similar existing products. It's food safe, it's ready for injection molding, and is the most recycled plastic. Plastic more generally allows for greater availability and cost effectiveness. which is perfect for large-scale operations, as well as the individual consumer, as they'd be more likely to purchase more than one of these items. Next, we have some information on the viability of our product, starting out with the limitations of this design. First, the perfectly cylindrical body on the other designs had to be modified to receive the new cap. So this latch here was added to the side of the normally cylindrical jar body. Still, this element eliminates the need for any threads normally found in this area on the other designs. This product relies on a friction seal to keep the cap in place, seen here. However, this increased distance between the spice exit point here and the top lid section here of the jar will reduce unintentional spills. Additionally, the previously mentioned design improvements for manufacturability will ensure that the product doesn't experience any shrinkage and maintains the desired amount of friction here and maintains its tolerance with the latch. With these disadvantages in mind, the product still blows away the status quo with its advantages. The product is designed to be quick to use, as it requires only one hand and limited movement, and can even be stored upside down, as mentioned earlier, so it can be used in one motion. Here we have a brief look into the design for human factors, with this hand here in a natural open grip position, which is how the product would normally be used. The thumb can either be moved up when the product is in this position here, to move the tab up and thus move the cap up, or be moved down slightly when the product is upside down over a pot or pan. The minimal amount of steps and motion here with the thumb required to use this product in comparison to a screw-on cap or even a tab cap with its large, sometimes barrier to entry with force there, are vital for those with limited wrist mobility or those with chronic pain or arthritis. But most importantly, this product will keep spices fresher for longer, which is invaluable in reducing food waste and improving the taste for both professional and home cooks. So we hope our improvement concept identified a need you have in your home and business, and we thank you for your time.